How's it going, everyone? Happy Halloween. Today is the night of Samhain, Samhain, and we are going to talk about Trick or Treat. This movie came out in 2007, and I just saw it for the first time, last year, I think. I've seen it 3 times now. Once to review it, and 2 times before. This is a pretty good movie. This was directed by Michael Dougherty, I believe. Is that how you say his name? Dougherty. He made Krampus, a Christmas horror movie, and I think he was the director of the recent Godzilla King of the Monsters. There we go. So this movie has Dylan Baker and Leslie Bibb from Law Abiding Citizen and The Babysitter and Brian Cox. And yeah, there's lots of beautiful people in this movie. Unlike my last review, Hellraiser Hellworld, I have a ton of good things to say about this movie. In fact, my nitpicks for this film are it could be more funny and there could be more on-screen kills. And that's it. Other than that, I think this movie is flawless. There is nothing bad about this movie at all. Nothing. This is a movie that I can stick in every October and have a blast with. Everything's good. Everything. Fucking everything. But before I spoil it, let's just go into the pros. I like that this movie chose that Tarantino style type of storytelling where it kind of jumps all over the place. And I think it does it very well. I like how all the stories kind of connect to each other. Once it ties together towards the end. You're like, oh, so that happened there, and that connects to that. And it makes it great for a rewatch because you can watch it again, and there's all these subtle sounds and people that are walking down the street. Oh, there's that person. It makes it more fun to watch again. Just the way the timeline is and how they make them connect towards the end. I just love that shit. And I think so it has great rewatchability. It's got a great, fun little timeline going on, like a Tarantino movie. Sam, the character, he looks interesting. It's creepy too. Just this 4-foot tall sackhead monster that just wants you to pay respect to the holiday. And he has a neat little weapons, the whole lollipop thing that he bites in half and slices you with. I like that. It's a pretty neat idea. Instead of just a typical knife or something, it's a lollipop. So that's creative. Now, the cinematography and the sets, gorgeous. Fucking creepy, eerie, just beautiful too at the same time. The way they use fog, the way they light certain scenes, the kids when they go to that bus. Probably the creepiest, best looking scene. It's probably my favorite story of the 5 is the kids. Is there 5 or 4? I think there's 4 or 5 stories that all tie together. But this movie it looks beautiful. The acting's good. The kids are good. Everybody's good. I mean, to me, it's all subjective. What you think is good is good. Whatever you think is bad is bad. Whatever. It doesn't matter. To me, this movie is flawless. It's got a great atmosphere, great Halloween vibe. It really puts you in the Halloween spirit. I love it. All the pumpkins everywhere, the Halloween lights, just the streets that they walk around, all the costumes. This is the most Halloween feeling movie ever. This has the most Halloween atmosphere and vibe out of all the Halloween Michael Myers movies together. This is purely soaked in the Halloween atmosphere. It's awesome. Every girl in this movie is hot, and as a guy, I pay attention to that shit, and I'm all these women are gorgeous. The only time they're ugly is if it's for a joke, and they have to be big and disgusting. The teacher that they go trick or treat and they knock on the door, and the teacher's dressed in a sexy costume that she doesn't deserve to be in because she's not attractive. So when it's played for a joke, the actress is ugly, but everybody else in this movie is gorgeous. I think it does a pretty good job of surprising you in a couple of these short stories. And I like the Wilkins character. He's probably my favorite. He's the most hilarious. I laughed by almost a lot of the shit he was saying and doing. He was the most fucked up character in the movie by far. So I thought he was great. The comedy by him. The effects on the one story that I don't want to dive too much into. But just the skin work that they did and the CGI that they used and all the effects in this movie are great. So yeah, I want to start talking about specific spoilers. So let's go into that. All right, so this movie opens up with Leslie Bibb, who is just absolutely stunning. I love her. And she's taking down her Halloween decorations on Halloween night. I thought that was odd. It's really? I think she says something well, my mom's coming tomorrow and she doesn't like Halloween decorations. But she gets killed for it. You should have waited till tomorrow morning. Maybe you wouldn't be paying the price. But then her boyfriend's like upstairs, like looking at porn. So we get some boobs in this movie. So yeah, we got some boobs in here. And he looks like Michael Fassbender's brother. Like, he could be like his brother. Anybody else? I love the opening credits. It's like comic books, and you even see like the comic book style, like earlier today and later on. Like, I love all that. Like, just adds more style to the film. And the fat kid knocking over pumpkins. They make him a dick right off the bat, so you don't care if he dies, and he does, thankfully. But his shirt, his costume, it says, "This is my costume." So he's fat, lazy, so lazy he can't even get a fucking costume. And this movie takes place in Warren Valley, Ohio. I'm not sure if that even exists. I'll have to look it up. Nope, it doesn't. Yeah, the little kid, the fat kid, starts puking all kinds of, like, the candy is coming out. It's just the way they shot that and did that was pretty cool. If I was him, I would have turned towards Mr. Wilkins and threw up all over his face. Like, fuck you, I'm dying, but I'm going to disgust you before I die. Just cling on to my pride before I die. The whole bus story was pretty creepy. And Mr. Wilkins in the grave, he's like beating there's like a body in there. Like, who was that? I don't know who that was. That wasn't the fat kid. So anybody know who that kid in the grave was? I thought it was Sam, but no, that's not Sam. He's attacking the neighbor at that moment. So who's the kid in the grave? He's just killing other kids and he's burying them alive. Pretty fucked up. Takes a finger off and he feeds it to the neighbor's dog, who's supposed to be like Spike. And you gotta be fucking kidding me. I hear this line a lot. The Thing and It Chapter 2. So many movies. Hatchet 3 and 4. So many movies that say, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And this one is another one. Crawl, I think the alligator movie I watched recently. Yeah, that one says it too. There's also like little moments of subtle humor that you might miss on the first viewing. When Sam, the little kid, he's at the door after he gets candy, he drags his Halloween bag down the stairs and you can hear like a cat growling. It's like he's got a cat in his bag. It's fucked up, man. So many fucked up things. I think it's ironic that the werewolf girl is dressed like Little Red Riding Hood. That's definitely on purpose. And those women are beautiful. So gorgeous. And they're all dressed like princesses. I think one was Jasmine, one was Snow White, one was Cinderella. And then the one guy, he kind of reminded me of the Grinch in the Jim Carrey version where like he wants to be by himself. That's what this guy is. He's the Grinch. Where like that big giant thing comes out of like the door and scares the other people. I forget what they call themselves. The Whoville. I haven't seen a Grinch in a long time. But he has like a mask that he made for his dog to make him have like glowing eyes and scare people away from his house. Why those kids were at his door anyways when his porch lights were off? He's clearly not handing out candy, kids. So why they were knocking at all makes no sense. Another thing that's kind of odd I want to point out is the werewolf girls are big procrastinators. They're buying costumes on Halloween night, like at night. It's like 6, 7 p.m. and they're just now buying their costumes. What the fuck, man? That is lazy. I like how Wilkins was biting this girl all over the place. Like her neck, her arm. She's bleeding down both arms. And she doesn't realize it until she like sees it. It's like, how do you not know if you're being bit? Then we get this fucked up prank these kids do. And they like are able to like have these fake intestines and everything. Very creative. I'm not sure how those kids pull that off. I wouldn't be able to. And then, then shit's really happening, and the girl they pranked, she like doesn't believe it's actually happening, and she leaves them to die. But does she? Like, it's clearly really happening. Like, does she leave them down there to die, or does she leave them thinking that they were pranking her again? I'm curious on that, because to me it seemed like she purposely let them die. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. And then the shotgun guy, I forget his name, the bus driver. He gets his Achilles cut like Judd in Pet Sematary. And then all Sam wanted was a candy bar. I think he should have just said that. I mean, he took the time out to write trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat 50 times all over his walls. But all he really should have wrote was, give me a candy bar and I'll leave you the fuck alone. Instead of just doing all, like, why? I don't know. I can nitpick little things, but it's still a great film. It's very quick too. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. It's very freaking quick. But yeah, then the bus driver, he encounters the kids from that story. And that's another little twist. Was like, oh, that's the bus driver from that story. I thought that was cool. And the look of these kids when they come back is creepy as fuck. This is a horror comedy, but there is some creepy moments in it, and definitely things that if I was younger, I feel like would have gave me nightmares if I saw this as a kid. So yeah, I think this movie is great as a horror and as a comedy. But yeah, then it just ties all together. The one girl who died at the beginning was actually the last person to die that night. It's at the very end, so the beginning of the movie is the end of the movie. I like that. It's kind of like a Pulp Fiction. So yeah, it's a very great movie. I love it. So definitely, I like the look of Sam too. Forgot to mention that. His actual face is a pumpkin. I thought that was pretty cool. So anyways, final thoughts. This movie has some good performances. Definitely some awesome cinematography. Great sets. Eerie moments. Some great comedy. It's very short, so it doesn't waste your time. It's very rewatchable. It's got an interesting character named Sam. And I hope we get more sequels to this. We haven't gotten a sequel in over 12 years. What the fuck? So yeah, this movie is great. So when it comes to Trick or Treat, this movie is a horror anthology masterpiece. And those are my thoughts on Trick or Treat. What did you think about this movie? Put your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favorite anthology horror movie? Let me know. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and you can become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.